Straight hair. Straight hair has a reputation for being the easy hair type. And honestly, it does have some real advantages. But there are a few things going on beneath the surface that most people never talk about, and they're worth paying attention to. Because straight strands lie completely flat and separate from each other, there's very little standing between your scalp and the outside world. UV rays, heat, dry wind, they all get a pretty clear path straight to your skin. If you wear a center part or any style that creates visible sections, those exposed lines are taking environmental stress every single day. Over years, that kind of consistent, low-level exposure can cause uneven tanning and increased scalp sensitivity along those exact lines. It's subtle, but it absolutely adds up, and most people don't connect the dots until the sensitivity is already established. Then there's the oil situation. Your scalp produces sebum, a natural protective oil, and on straight hair, it travels down the shaft almost immediately. That's part of why straight hair can look shiny and smooth, but it also means the oil spreads thin and fast instead of forming any real protective layer near the roots. Your scalp ends up less cushioned than you'd expect, especially against UV exposure, friction from brushing, and the repeated heat from styling tools used close to the skin. Because the oil moves so efficiently, it gets distributed along the entire length rather than concentrating where it might do the most good. That can create a clean, light feel day to day, but it also means there's less of a thick protective barrier at the scalp when conditions get harsh. Strong sun in summer, cold, dry wind in winter, or even just the daily grind of heat styling without proper protection layered in first. Speaking of heat tools, straight hair is brutally honest about damage. There are no bends or coils to visually absorb fraying or roughed-up cuticles, so the second your hair starts breaking down, it shows. Dullness, split ends, snapped pieces. They all show up fast and cleanly along those smooth lines. There's very little middle ground with straight hair. It tends to read as either healthy or damaged, and not much in between. Straight hair doesn't quietly absorb poor habits the way some other textures can. It puts them on display almost immediately, and even minor inconsistencies, an uneven trim, a missed heat protectant, a too hot tool, can become obvious faster than you'd expect. That can make the upkeep feel deceptively demanding for something that's supposed to be the low-effort option. Wavy hair. Wavy hair looks effortless, and on a good day, it really is. But it's also one of the most inconsistent textures to manage day to day, and that inconsistency isn't random. It's baked directly into the structure of the strand itself. Those gentle bends in the shaft act like little speed bumps for your scalp's natural oil. Sebum starts traveling down from the roots, hits a curve, and slows down. What that means practically is that your roots tend to get greasy relatively quickly, while your mid-lengths and ends are often sitting dry and thirsty at the same time. That imbalance can push you into a frustrating cycle, washing your scalp too frequently to deal with the grease, and then over-conditioning your ends just to compensate for the dryness. Neither extreme is great for your hair long-term, and the cycle can be hard to break once it's established. The bends in wavy hair also create mechanical weak points along the shaft. When you sleep on one side, pull an elastic off your hair, or twist it up into a bun, the tension from those movements doesn't spread evenly across the strand. It concentrates right where the shaft curves. Over time, that leads to small, scattered breakage that doesn't look dramatic in any single spot, but slowly chips away at your overall volume and gradually weakens the wave pattern itself. Your hair can still look completely fine at a glance while quietly losing density near the crown or temples, which makes it easy to miss until it's become a noticeable problem. Then there's the humidity factor, or the lack of it. Wavy hair sits in an awkward middle ground where it can't lock moisture in the way tight coils can, but it also can't shrug off humidity shifts the way straight hair tends to. In dry air, the pattern loosens and frizzes as water escapes faster than natural oils can compensate. In humid air, different sections of the wave absorb moisture and swell at different rates, so your hair reacts unpredictably, even when your routine hasn't changed at all. You can use the exact same products in the exact same order and get completely different results depending on the weather. Wavy hair is genuinely workable in almost any environment, but it rarely feels fully settled. It's constantly making small adjustments to whatever conditions it's in, and keeping up with those adjustments can feel like chasing moving goalposts. That constant recalibration is what makes consistency feel so elusive with this texture, even when you feel like you're doing everything right. Curly hair. Curly hair gets a lot of well-deserved praise, and the scalp protection it offers is genuinely real. Those overlapping spirals create a layered canopy that softens UV exposure, buffers heat and wind, and reduces direct friction from external contact. But there's a significant trade-off happening underneath all of that doesn't get nearly enough attention. The same geometry that protects your scalp so effectively also makes it almost impossible for your natural oil to do its job along the rest of the strand. Sebum leaves the scalp and immediately runs into curve after curve on its way down. A lot of it never travels far past the roots, so while your scalp may feel completely fine, or even oily, the mid-lengths and ends of your hair are often sitting in a state of chronic low lubrication. Not because your scalp isn't producing oil, but because the structure of the curl prevents that oil from ever reaching where it's actually needed most. That lack of natural lubrication raises the friction level every time your curls rub against each other, brush against a pillowcase, snag in a tangle, or meet a brush or comb. More friction means more wear on the outer layer of each strand, and over time that wear reduces elasticity and roughens the surface of the fiber. And because curly hair is curved, it doesn't absorb moisture from the air evenly either. Certain segments puff and swell more than others depending on how the curl is shaped, which creates internal tension at the bends themselves. That tension builds quietly, and most people don't notice it until the hair starts behaving differently. Add in the daily reality of detangling, restyling, pulling hair up, and taking it back down, and those stress points are taking repeated hits throughout the week. The result is a texture that can look full, defined, and powerful while quietly absorbing a disproportionate amount of mechanical and moisture-related punishment in exchange for the protection it offers your scalp. Curly hair defends your skin well, but the fiber is the one paying the cost. Without intentional conditioning practices and genuinely low-tension styling habits, that cumulative fatigue can shorten how much length your hair actually retains over time, even if it never looks obviously damaged until the problem is already well established. Coily hair. If curly hair is a canopy for your scalp, coily hair is essentially built-in headgear. Tight coils stack on top of each other into a dense, springy layer that dramatically reduces how much direct sun, heat, and environmental stress actually reaches your skin. In terms of natural scalp protection, it's one of the most effective structures that exists. That density can also soften minor abrasions from daily environmental contact that other textures are more exposed to. But that same architecture places serious, ongoing demands on the hair fiber itself, and those demands don't take days off. Every tight bend in a coil is a tension zone waiting to be activated. Under normal resting conditions, that's manageable, but the moment you introduce combing, stretching, compression from a hat or headscarf, or high-tension styling, that force doesn't distribute itself evenly across the strand. It piles up right at those sharp curves. Coily hair doesn't break because it's inherently weak or fragile. It breaks because its geometry is very efficient at concentrating mechanical stress into very specific locations. Rough detangling, frequent manipulation, or protective styles that are pulled too tightly can cause thinning along the length. And if the tension shifts from the fiber to the follicle itself, you can start to see gradual density loss near the hairline over time, which is one of the harder things to reverse once it's progressed. Natural oil has the most difficult journey of any hair type here. Sebum barely makes it past the first stretch of new growth before the tight coils make further travel nearly impossible. That leaves the vast majority of the hair's length in a state of chronic low lubrication, unless moisture and lipids are being actively added and sealed in from the outside on a consistent basis. Coils also trap air exceptionally well, a genuine advantage outdoors in intense sun or dry wind, but more of a challenge in low airflow environments, indoors with heating systems running, or under snug headwear worn for long periods. Coily hair isn't high maintenance because of some inherent flaw, or because it's harder to manage than it should be. It's high maintenance because its structure is doing a significant, real job, and it needs consistent, deliberate support to keep doing that job without quietly breaking down from the inside out. The protection it offers your scalp is legitimate and meaningful. But without steady hydration, low manipulation routines, and genuine care for the fiber, the very hair that's shielding your skin can end up compromised in ways that accumulate gradually and become difficult to fully address once they've had time to set in.